So how is everybody this morning? Y'all feeling good? Good night's sleep? Yeah.
Fantabulous.
I did not get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, me neither. My Whoop says I haven't had a good night's sleep since I started wearing it.
With 50 plus years of combined produce, supply chain, entrepreneurial, and business experience, Craig Slade and Ed Bertad discuss the impacts of fresh produce on their lives and health. This podcast is a casual conversation between two friends just trying to get better. This is the Fresh CrEd.
Like last night, I think it was 8 o'clock. I was telling me to go to bed for a full recovery. Wanted me to be in bed for 11 hours.
So how you liking the whoopee? Is a whoop?
So yesterday was the first round of golf I'd played with the Whoop on.
Right.
And just for context, I wanted to know what walking a round of golf, would translate into strain. And it wound up being, I sent it to Brian. I said, hey, this is for the folks that think that is not a sport or not, it's for just old people.
Yeah.
But my strain was like 15, which is it's like way above what the recommended daily, which
What do
is
you mean
like
your
10
strain?
minimum.
Like you were overexerting
It's
yourself?
a calculation of heart rate, exercise, recovery. Like it's the physical, it's a measurement of physical strain on your body overall, like overall activity, instead of just measuring steps.
And so I mean, I
I'm,
guess just so I've got a benchmark. So you said, what did you say your strain was yesterday? 15?
so the 4.5 hours of walking, pushing my bag, swinging the club was about 15.
And so what is Ed Bertad sitting in his truck?
All day?
Yeah. Let's just go with that. You're driving to San
Um,
Antonio.
like a whole day of just sitting at a desk or sitting in the truck. So light strain is 0 to 9. My day of no activity will usually be around a 4. So moderate strain is 10 to 13. High strain is 14 to 17. Overreaching is 18 to 21. So my full strain for yesterday was like 17.
Gotcha.
18 to 21 would require like running a half marathon.
So you were almost overreaching
like
yesterday just playing a round of golf.
And when you overreach, coupled with, your recovery, and I guess the goal is to recover for, full performance, but at the same time, you want to overreach for physical gains like weight loss, strength. So I'm not explaining it really well because I don't understand it.
Good.
Super good.
Well, at least you're aware of that.
Yeah. I'm learning. But I mean, it's a measurement,
Yeah, no, I understand.
I like it because you can walk 10,000 steps in a straight line on a flat road, or you can hike 10,000 steps, and it's different, right? And this accounts for it because it takes your heart rate, your resting heart rate and your peak level heart rate and all that stuff into consideration to calculate strain.
So what's your resting heart rate?
Right now, after a significant amount of coffee, my heart rate's 90.
Yeah. So yeah, mine, I'm up
Live.
to 52, 53 resting heart rate. But
that's not right now.
Typically, well, mine right now is. Let's see. Do I still have my? No, I don't have my watch on, so I couldn't tell you. It's freaking high at 1:45 this morning, though. That's no bueno. Anyway, awesome. So you're gonna sign up? I mean, what is that? $20 a month or something? Once you 30.
30.
Jeez, have you done the math on that?
Yeah. $1 a day. Wow. Yeah. I still have well over a month and a half free, so we'll see.
So Mason, we're gonna place bets. So I'll give you the first in. So Ed signs up for Whoop and pays the $30 a month, And Ed, let me ask you this: is it a one-time payment you pay for the whole year, or do you pay monthly?
You have a discount if you pay for the whole year, or you can pay monthly. But
Okay.
given my level of certainty,
Yes.
I'll probably do the month by month for now.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Did you win anything on the Super Bowl?
I did.
Did you?
Man,
Wow.
so
Are we going on vacation, or is that just enough to buy that bottle of wine you've been eyeballing?
I had a decent chunk of change across probably about 8 different bets, maybe 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a problem.
Well, it's the Super Bowl.
They legalized gambling
in Arizona.
Stinking Arizona, and Craig's gone. He's gone off the deep end.
So, and also a couple of things. I'm glad you asked about that. So, Mason, all right, here's the deal, Mason. Pick some months. How many months are you going to take? All right. So, is it going to be under 6 months or over
Craig,
6 months? Which one you want?
Don't underestimate me
Wanting me to lose?
paying the number of months it takes for Mason to win just to spite
I know.
you.
See, that's what I'm kind of
Don't worry,
the
Ed.
deal.
I'm gonna say 3 months. Wink, wink.
So
Ed.
3 months. I'm going to say he actually goes longer than 3 months. So here's what he's going to be faced with, right? So if he doesn't go longer than 3 months, that means he's got to cancel his subscription in order for you to win. Or if he goes over 3 months, which he will, because here's what Ed's going to do, but he's going to angst over it every month. He's going to ask himself every time that bill comes due, man, come on, $30. Am I really getting something out of this? It's only $30. It's $1 a day. So my bet is even though he'll stress over it, he'll angst over it, he will continue the program, and then he'll come on.
I don't know, man.
So
I've been threatening Sirius every year. Like I have it on my calendar when it's going to renew for the full hit, like $300 or whatever. We have 3 different vehicles with Sirius. I'll call them and threaten to cancel, and
you get a discount.
They renegotiate. I get 3 for 1 basically.
But you hadn't canceled.
But done that the last 3 years.
So
no, because for whatever $100 a year,
you can justify
for 3
it.
vehicles.
So
I could justify it, but I can't live with getting. I mean, it's one of those renewal deals where if you're not paying attention, you get gigged for it.
All right. So real quick before we get to the Super Bowl, Mason, what's the bet? $5, $10? Just to rub it in like I do the baby thing. What do we want to do here?
So 3 months was actually my joke.
Oh,
like
wait.
I mean, because we were talking about Ed spiting you and stuff, and I was like, hey man, make it. You don't have to lose too much money. I mean, I'll throw $5 in. I do think that Ed will probably stick with it because I mean, as he learns more, and especially seeing like his strain.
Yeah, my bet is he sticks with it until something new comes along, right? Or he loses his job and can't afford it. That's my bet. So
thanks for the vote of confidence.
All right, Super Bowl. All right, a couple of things. Just to tell you how
was there a Super Bowl since we last spoke?
There was. So
I don't have that on my notes.
No interest in most of the time, anytime. I barely have interest really now when the Cowboys play. It's hard to say what kind of interest I'd have. They hadn't played in so long in the Super Bowl. But that being said, it never hurts to put a little money on it, make the game interesting. So yeah, I place a bunch of different things.
So you won something from me.
Parlays, one from you, one from another friend. But what drives me crazy in all of this is how close everything is. I mean, razor thin close. If you ever do any of this, so think about the point spread in this freaking game. So I bet. So I'll tell you the 1 point. Missed extra point, one freaking point cost me $115 because the spread was 4 and they beat him by freaking 3. So I wouldn't have won at 4 points, but I would have pushed my bet, which, for the odds was $115. So that's $115 I lost because of 1 freaking point. The other thing where I did win on a parlay that I had put together, I needed Odell Beckham Jr. to score a touchdown.
To get injured?
No, yeah. Well, yeah. What's he doing in the Super Bowl? How does this guy? He's on freaking fire, right? Changed the game. The game, I would have been telling you guys how much money I won had Odell not gone down, guarantee you. But this guy, I mean, by the hair of my chinny chin, this guy needs to score a touchdown. Thank God he scores right out of the box. And he needs to get more than 49.5 yards for a couple of different parlays that I had. He got 50 freaking 2. And then goes down, and he's done for the day. Now, anybody else that was on him get more. That's how 52 yards. I needed 49 and a half to make my stuff work. I needed one touchdown, which is hard to come by, and he got that early. On the flip side of that, cost me, which my winnings, my payout on this other bet would have been $210. And the last thing I needed in this particular bet was for Matt Stafford to throw for 200. Let's see, it was 290 yards. So part of the parlay was he had to do 290 or more. Anybody want to guess how many yards Matt Stafford threw for?
No.
You don't want to guess? No fun. There's no fun in that. Okay.
Nah.
283. That's one freaking pass. He missed it by 7 yards. He throws one more freaking ball down the field, little yards after catch. Craig wins $210. He don't. Craig don't.
Speaking of Stafford, did you see that clip where I don't know if it was post game or the next day where a reporter or photographer was taking a picture of him and they were on a stage. He was with his wife and she's walking backwards and she falls off the back of the stage and he just turns around and walks away.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you have to see it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's him and his wife are being photographed. He's got like a bottle of water in his hand. And the photographer's backing up and they're on a big stage, like one of these stages you see like at a festival. And she's walking backwards and you don't see her fall, but you hear it and you see the reaction on his wife's face and his reaction. And he literally like takes a sip of his water, turns around and walks away. I mean, it was.
Did he go help her up?
No. He literally walked away.
Good. I'd be hearing about that.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
I'd be hearing about that for a minute. That's for sure. So, anyway, all said and done, all the money that changed hands, the wins and loss, I think I netted maybe $20 when it's all said and done.
Really?
Yeah.
I did better than that.
What's that?
I did better than that.
I was diversified, Ed. But again, I just gave you $345 swing would have been in my positive with with the extra point and freaking 7 more yards for Stafford. That's a $345 swing with 1 point and 7 yards. That's crazy close. It happens every time. I mean, every week. And 9 times out of 10, I'm on the wrong side of that. I'm usually telling that's all of my bets go bad. So, anyway, I had some fun. Like I say, I need to feel good.
Well, I actually won something. We went to Super Bowl get together over at our friend TJ Flowers, which has been 10, 11 years now. And I've never won anything. And I made sure to point it out. I had waited, he'd been pitching his squares all week and I held back and showed up day of, and there was a bunch of squares left. So I gave in. And one person in particular won like 3/4 on one of the larger boards, but I actually wound up winning the prop bets. So that was pretty cool.
What prop bet did you win?
Well, he's got a list. Like, you choose.
Right, first touchdowns.
Yeah. Like, so he's got a list of like 30 of them, right? And you pick yours. And at the end, highest score wins. Whoever got, the coin toss and
good for you.
First possession, first penalty, all that stuff. Yeah. So my 11-year streak was broken.
Wow. So what did you go buy something special? Or is that just your whoop? Is that what you used to pay for your whoop?
It might be my whoop money. Yeah, it might be my whoop money. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's get off of this. You know what? One thing, this show is about
Super Bowl.
The show's about getting better.
It's not about Super Bowl.
It's not.
Okay.
And I will say getting better is not gambling. so that's not,
especially not with your health.
Yeah. It's not good.
Although
it's fun,
the cumulative age of the halftime show
Yeah.
of the of the participants of the halftime show could have gone either way. It was cool. I liked it, but guys are getting up in age.
They are.
Makes me feel
Well, I
old.
felt good that they had the dancers up there, some old dudes with gray hair. Now, Tanya, of course, she asked, like, wow, look, they brought a bunch of old dudes. I think that's cool. She's like, Craig, they can dye their hair. That doesn't mean they're old. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's true. So,
Some people do
I
that.
know. But I just felt good. There's a bunch of gray haired or white haired dudes out there. And she
Yeah.
kind of disappointed me. It's like, yeah, they're probably not.
We used to have a friend of the family that we know dyed his hair right here to look a little more
Elegant.
I don't know about elegant, maybe a little more experienced.
Distinguished.
What color would he dye? Distinguished.
Distinguished.
That's the word. What color would that be?
Gray.
So do I look distinguished? Because I got a lot of that.
Buddy, you've got it to spare.
I mean, I think I've gone past what's past distinguished. What happens when you over exceed distinguished?
Oh, I don't know.
Dead.
You're like the most distinguished man in the world.
You know what? That guy was my idol, the most interesting man in the world. That's me.
Yeah. You're the opposite of Richard Petty, let's say. So today is Daytona 500.
Yeah.
I was
Okay,
watching the
Richard
little
Petty. Now,
pregame
wait a
this
second.
morning.
Are you talking about the original Richard Petty?
Yeah.
My Richard Petty from Craig's era.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
I mean, he's still involved in the sport.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
He's got
I mean,
a kid,
so he
though,
was
right?
on
He's got a
stage.
kid, right, that races.
Oh, yeah. He's got great grandkids, I think, but he's still involved in racing, owns cars and teams and all kinds of stuff. So, but, he shows up this morning to be interviewed. And of course, he's got his signature dark shades on. And he's got black shades on. His hair is blacker than his shades. I mean, it is jet black.
Yeah, he's about 100.
So I'm thinking about going with that look.
You gonna wear that cool?
A lot of
wear his
upkeep.
cool cowboy hat with the feathers. Man, that is
Yeah.
circa 1975 right there, baby.
I don't know how fast he was going when he hit that chicken, but man, it hit right at the right spot.
I mean, yeah, that was. So I had a hat that had some feathers like that when I was a young man. So that was definitely.
I did too when I was about 7.
Yeah, well, you're younger than I am, so it was the thing back in my day.
Not by that
We liked
much.
to have lots of feathers on our hat or thing. That look
well.
was cool in the 70s.
You thought you were Bud from
But
Urban
oh my
Cowboy.
God, what a movie, right? For all you young children that haven't seen John Travolta in his finest moment, which is freaking Bud
Urban
yeah,
Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy, Bud Fox, right? Sissy and
Mm,
Bud Fox. Yeah, I'm
Wasn't
pretty sure
Fox.
it's Bud Fox.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we have to look that up. I don't think so.
And I've every time I watch the movie, I keep waiting for him to make a different decision on the gal that Daddy.
I think
did
we've
over.
talked
We
about
have.
this
Me and you have
before.
talked about it. I don't think we talked
Yeah.
on the pod though.
Like he should have stuck with
Yeah,
Pam.
Pam, that's her name. Nobody's not sticking with Pam. Nobody's going back to Sissy in that stinking ass trailer. Just not.
Bud Davis.
Bud Davis.
No,
Who
that
do I
makes
know as
sense
Bud
now.
Fox. I think I know a Bud
I
Fox.
don't know. Red Fox, maybe?
I've seen him in Vegas. Oh my God.
They even had a middle name for him. It was Buford Ewan Davis
Really?
or Bud. Mm-hmm.
Huh, that's a Trivial Pursuit. But anyway,
He's
kids.
just moved from his parents' home in rural Spur, Texas, to the Houston home of his Uncle Bob and Aunt Corrine.
Where are you from? I'm from Spur.
Spur.
Spur. Mason, you got to watch that. Have you seen Urban Cowboy?
Is that the Billy Crystal movie?
What?
No.
City Slickers? No.
No.
Yeah, I'm
That's
thinking
City
of-
Slickers.
Yeah.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
not seen Urban Cowboy.
You got okay. Come on, man. Come on. You guys. That's got to be on some kind of platform for free.
One more bet, Craig. Spur, Texas, population over under
Today
Within
back
100.
then.
today.
Spur.
Over or under
I'm waiting.
1,500.
Oh Man, today's era, Spur. Um, I'm gonna go over.
Damn, I should have said how much. It's under.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was for $1, right? So good bet.
1,318
Huh.
and going down.
Ooh, Spur's not a growth area.
No, actually, it was 1,318 in 2010, and yeah, I think now it's like 1,088.
Yeah, so Mason, you got to watch that. That was a super influence. So John Travolta made two major movie changing, or I say very influential movies of the 70s, both centered around dance.
I've seen Saturday Night Live.
So yeah, so if you take Saturday Night Live and put a cowboy hat on
Fever.
it, now you got freaking Urban Cowboy. Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever, not live.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk.
Oh,
So Ed, I think it should be a goal to just make Craig pay for your Whoop
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
service through all of these. Through bets. Just try and squeeze $30 out of Craig each month. That'd be so funny.
What was our super? It's like $100 on that Super Bowl thing. So maybe I will make more money than I thought.
it was a round of golf, not $100.
It's more than $100, man.
Hey, bud, what do you think a round of golf costs?
So wrapping up, depends where you go.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Wrapping up
local
on
muni.
Daytona 500.
Yes, wrap
look,
it up.
I
Wrap it up.
am not a NASCAR fan per
You're not?
se. I will watch the last couple laps if I happen to be channel surfing. But today I might watch, and you want to know why?
I do want to know why. Because is Ryan Palmer driving this year?
No, almost that good. The Black Rifle Coffee Company has sponsored a car.
Holy moly.
Number 42, Ty Dillon. So
Black Rifle Coffee
that's who I'm rooting for.
has gone NASCAR.
Yeah. Well, they went public a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think they have about 30 stores slated for Texas. What are you looking for? Just ask me.
I'm
I'll
looking
tell
at
you.
Black Rifle Coffee right now to see about their IPO.
Mm.
So,
How'd you miss that one?
well, I don't know. It just didn't make my list.
Is it all the crypto overperformance of the last
It's
couple
what
weeks
it
had
is.
you
It's
distracted?
Nothing's
I haven't heard a lot of chest thumping about that recently.
chest thumping.
Yeah.
It's mostly
Could it be that there's been a little dip?
there has been a hell of a dip across everything that it is technology and stocks. I mean, if you're a heavy tech investor, you are singing the freaking blues right now. Everything's getting crushed.
Mhm.
I mean, crushed.
It's a good time to buy it.
It is an
Get in.
excellent time to buy. I actually have been doing some of that myself. Been buying a little bit here and there.
So I listened to a little something this week about a speculation that traditional banking will get together and form its own form of crypto, create its own form of crypto.
So there's a lot of speculations as to where it's going to go. And there's talk about governments creating their own crypto. I think China has already gone down that path, and they're working on some form if they haven't already put it out. So there's governments looking at doing something in crypto. Yeah, there's conversations around banks doing some sort of an alternative. There will absolutely be offshoots of what's out there, but once you make it part of an institution, you start to take away some of the. So once you have central control, if you do have central control, you take away from what the whole premise of the cryptocurrency is about, which is no central control. In other words, with crypto, you don't have a Federal Reserve that can manipulate the value of it. And so that's
it's finite to a certain degree.
Well, only Bitcoin is finite. There may be some others that are finite, and I'm sure there are. But in terms of fame coins or fame crypto, Bitcoin's really the only one that's finite. Like Oh, what's the hang on, I can't believe I'm going to draw. What's the next one after Bitcoin, Mason?
Ethereum?
Ethereum. I don't know why I couldn't think of Ethereum. That's in fact that's where most of what crypto I have is mostly Ethereum. So Ethereum is not finite, but they're two different products as well. Um, Ethereum is more of a technology, whereas Bitcoin is more of a um, store value gold esque. It's gold esque, whereas Ethereum is, like I say, technology. It's more a different way of um, doing transactions. It is really the blockchain. So
All right.
easiest way. So this is what I tell people. There's a couple of things. One, um, tokens exist on a regular basis. So think about so off of the Ethereum blockchain, a lot of coins are based on Ethereum, right? So um, whether it's the farmer NFT group, there's this dollar sign potato, so their currency's potato, and I believe that's via the Ethereum. uh, and then mana in Decentraland, mana is the currency. So if you're operating in Decentraland, you're spending mana, but that mana goes through Ethereum's blockchain to be verified. So tokens exist in this world. So the best example for people when you're trying to understand some of this, so think about a dollar bill and think about that dollar bill as currency, right? I mean, I'm sorry, as a token, right? Actually, you know what? That's a bad idea. Just think about the dollar bill as a crypto coin, and you go to a vending machine, and you're going to buy. So you're going to trade that dollar for a beef jerky inside that vending machine, right? So when you place that dollar in, that machine is the blockchain, right? It's a very basic miner, but that dollar bill goes in. Now, if you put in a real dollar bill, that machine scans it, looks at it, says real dollar bill, fair enough. The value of this beef jerky in this machine, they'll take a trade for $1. So we'll drop down the beef jerky and we'll take the dollar. If you put in a counterfeit dollar, it will go in, the machine will scan it, says, sorry, sir, this is not good. It'll spit it back out. So that is so if you understand, so the machine is the blockchain. So in the world of crypto, when I take mana or whatever, when I give you mana for something, well, you don't know if it's real or not until somebody verifies it's real. And so that's what the blockchain does is it verifies, yeah, what Craig is giving you is legitimate. It is the legitimate quantity, and it does it through computer calculations. And then it says, and so that's a relatively simplified. Obviously, there's a whole nother different things you can talk about and how the blockchain looks, and there's other stuff, but that's really what the difference is. And so in the world today, when you start to scale that up, what banks do is they verify all these transactions, right? So you give somebody a credit card. Well, that credit card is based on a bank. Okay. And so that bank verifies that what you're using with that credit card, they say, yeah, he has the authority to spend or borrow at that level, right? So the bank is the guy that says, yeah, he's legitimate. And then when I pay in money to pay for that, all the banks, so the bank that I wrote a check from has to verify that I had the money in the bank. And so let's Wells Fargo has to say, yep, Craig's got this money. It's legitimate. And so Visa, whoever the bank is behind the Visa, has to say, okay, that very money is verified, therefore it qualifies to pay for this. You can see all that. Those are all centralized locations that verify it. And the ultimate verifier of all currency, in our case, in the United States, in which is pretty much all country, is the Fed, the Federal Reserve, right? The Federal Reserve is the one that says a dollar bill is a dollar bill.
Hmm.
And then we all have to have faith in the Federal Reserve that they're legitimate. And there's what you call a fiat currency, because it requires you and me and Mason, if we're going to do business together, to believe in the currency and its value and the people that assign that value. And that's how the Bitcoin works. That's how it works. In other words, everybody that buys Bitcoin for $30,000 or $40,000, they're basically saying, we believe as a collective group that is worth $40,000. And if they wake up tomorrow and they say it's worth 35, well, then it's now worth 35. So, but instead of the federal government or a Fed saying Bitcoin is worth this, it is a collective group that says this is what it's worth today. So,
Well, I know Mason loves when we go back to previous subjects,
yeah.
but real quick, tying to the Super Bowl, I noticed
after
a
all that
lot of
Bitcoin
crypto
conversation, all it clicked off in your mind.
This is relative,
Okay.
man. Chill
All right.
out. Single espresso, not double. Yeah, a lot of crypto commercials during the Super Bowl. I think as an industry, if it is an industry, they'd be better served using that time to explain a little more to folks that don't understand, like me, fully how this all works, right? It was a lot of promotion, but not enough education, in my opinion. Now, I don't know how much you can get in 30 seconds, but look, they get pretty creative with commercials. So, maybe bits and pieces. I don't know. I just think it was underserved, frankly, the time.
So I was listening to your boy this week about health and well-being. What's his damn name? Howard?
Lewis Howes.
Lewis House.
Yeah.
Lewis House.
Howes.
And I mean,
Howes.
Howes. Howes. Lewis Howes.
Yes, Lewis Howes.
And I mean, he had some good stuff,
Yes.
but
the school of greatness.
The challenge right now for me, listening to as many podcasts as I do, is kind of
that you're gonna bash any one of my recommendations.
No. This guy's good. I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying, in total, mine included. It's starting to kind of get repetitive. There's not like a lot of new information. It's like, I guess there's a little bit. That's one thing I was going to comment. It was interesting to me. He had a guy on there about exercise and kind of his take on it. This guy used to do triathlons and figured out they were doing triathlons wrong, and then figured out maybe triathlons really aren't that great for your body. And I don't know. It's just his take on exercise, and then some of the other people I've listened to's take. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you got to listen to a lot of information and then mostly apply it. I think that's where I'm going with this, is application in your own life becomes relevant, and you need to kind of have a measurement. You need to have something in your head that you're looking for to figure out if it's working for you. I guess I think that's the thing. I don't know where I'm going with that, other than the fact of there's a lot of the information that I'm listening to, whether it's Lewis or these other guys, it's like it's starting to kind of stack on top of each other, but there are nuanced differences between each one. So,
well, I think you have to take some time to apply. Right, you can get a little bit of overload. I get what you're saying, because sometimes I'll spend a whole Sunday listening to a bunch of stuff, but it's like anything with retention. I mean, you got to grab what sticks and try to apply it, and move on. But in my own life, since you asked,
I did. Ed, in your own life,
I've started a self-imposed. This is just not to say that I'm not going to do anything else exercise-wise, but I started a self-imposed challenge of 100 push-ups a day from this last Monday till Viva.
Okay.
Without fail. I mean, every day, 100 push-ups.
Straight?
No, I can't do 100 straight.
I'm
trying to get there. I'm actually trying to get. So I use my push-up handles. It's harder than just 100 push-ups.
Oh my God, yeah. That's what I was going to ask, if you're using the jailhouse handles.
Yeah. No, I can't do 100 straight, but my goal is to, because a week after Viva is my birthday, and I will be 49. My goal is to do 49 straight. So right now my set is 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. That's how I accomplish my 100.
What is it again?
And I just 30, 25, 20, 15, 10.
Very nice.
So my first set's 30, then 25, then 20, then 15, then 10. That's not easy.
No.
Not for me,
No, it's
but
not. I mean,
yeah. So
there was
for my 49th birthday, I'm gonna knock out 49 straight.
so
I can do
I
that.
talked about running, so that was part of my deal, and so part of my deal. I mean, I run typically every day. I got to be honest with you. It's been with cold weather, sun not getting up,
Please don't be
super
honest.
super busy. I I've been less
Oh, I
I've been
know.
less than disciplined on my everyday run, right? So it's kind
Mm,
of stinks. But what I was going to say as part of my deal is run and then do. Originally, I would do. I think at one point I was doing 60 push-ups straight. Right now,
dang,
not with the bars, and I'm
that's still
but
pretty good.
my last 10, 10 to 15 were a freaking struggle, right? So they probably weren't
Yeah,
your most, my ass wasn't way up in the air. It wasn't one of those freaking triangle push-ups, but it was probably not the most, it was very slow.
it wasn't a military
Yeah, it
push-up.
was.
Let's put
Yeah,
it that way.
exactly. But I got through them, and then I do 60 setups. So I hated both of those worse than anything. So
I might add the sit-ups to my
yeah, so
challenge.
so I,
That's actually
yeah,
a good
sit-ups
idea.
and push-ups are a great way without weight. It's resistance training. I mean, it's a good way to get some physical action. But what I'm going to say in this point is, I dreaded it. I did, I got to where the 3 mile run didn't bother me, but God, I'd come in. I was like, oh, I hate freaking falling up. I hated push-ups and I hated sit-ups. And then finally, I was like, you know what? I need to cut it back. So I cut it back to 40. Uh, and then I still hated that. And so now I'm back to 30. But I would
You know why?
why?
Because you lacked accountability and
Yeah, that's nothing to
a
do.
platform for which to make it known, even if it's just to one other
Just all
person,
right.
just to keep you
All right.
honest. And that's what I'm trying to
All
do.
right.
That's what
That's
we
what you're
did
doing to me
with
here.
the clean eating
Okay.
challenge. That's what we're doing with this. The minute you start talking about it,
Actually,
as LeVar Ball says, you have to speak it into existence.
all right. There's
And
a nugget of
so the minute people know about it, you can't let yourself or them
it's
down. And that's what keeps me going.
podcast gold. Good job, Ed. Podcast gold nugget from Ed. Mason, make sure this gets on the recording. People, if you just showed up, if you heard nothing else, you got to verbalize it if you want to realize it. So,
Hey, just put that on a
there you
t-shirt.
go. Well, uh, just parlaying off of you, buddy. So, but yeah, so you're right. So all right, so there's mine. So I'm gonna get back on the horse, and I'm not doing more than 30 a day though, because really I dreaded freaking anything over that. So 30 is not a big deal. I
Yeah.
can knock
Well,
out
they
30
make these
pretty easy.
boards now. I'm thinking
But
about
I ain't doing it
getting,
with those damn
it's like,
handles.
it's handles, but it's like a pegboard and you put it in different positions for
Different muscles.
isolating different
Yeah.
muscle groups. Yeah. So one's for your back and triceps and all this stuff. So I'm looking into
So
that.
you don't
That's
need a
pretty cool.
membership. And you don't need to kill yourself in terms of exercise either, right? I mean, probably three.
You need a gym membership if you're going to be like a bodybuilder. Let's put
Okay,
it that
but
way. Like you need all of that equipment to, really, but I'm not
but
trying to be a
for me and
bodybuilder.
you, or what you and I, and probably what ideally the people we're listening and talking with, right? You know, hurt. Basically, as you get older, for me, you don't want to ridiculously overexert your body. Getting injured is the worst thing I can do in terms of my health, right? So, like I said,
Mhm.
three miles is probably borderline, to be honest with you. I probably should be doing something somewhat less than that. Um, but certainly, people that are running marathons and triathlons, it's super impressive, and I'm super in awe of people that do that at my age and older. It's not the best thing if you're about getting older, longer, healthier, that kind of stuff, because your body needs exercise, but we're exercising, or at least me, I'm exercising for longevity health versus anything else. And so for that, you need a
Yeah.
moderate exercise, not one that's like crushing the weights, and because you're basically breaking down muscle tissue and rebuilding it back, and I don't know.
Y'all should look into. You should do yoga
Yes.
in terms of like true overall strength. I mean, you build some muscles in places that typically you can't do by isolative like gym
Yeah.
exercises.
No, you're right. It's something that I've been wanting to explore, but
Have you guys so have either one of you ever participated in a organized yogurt program?
I used to do hot yoga.
So I did. I've been there. So that's the yoga. That's the one. So we used to go to a place there in Rockwall. Uh, at high
is that the one where they yell at you and berate you,
Yeah,
like
it's
Bikram
they spit in your face.
that
Bikram
yeah,
yoga?
that's a different kind of yoga, I guess. But
Okay.
no, this was just a room. So one, it's a room of sweaty people, disgusting as hell. They they
Mm.
don't seem to have a quantity. They don't have a. They don't
Staphylococcus
have a
running
mass.
rampant.
This was pre-COVID. I don't know if they still do this program, uh, but it was already disgusting. Number one. Number two, when I first went, right, so this whole yoga deal, I mean, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be just anybody could do this. This is simple. There's going to be nothing to this. It's going to be a waste of my time, but I'm going to go participate with Tanya. She wants to do this. So we go. Oh my God, it's like an hour long in this freaking dude. It is one of the most strenuous freaking workouts. And your body, after you do it one or two times, holy moly, man, you realize, hey, I have not used that muscle since maybe ever. And yeah, I think we're contemplating it. So I'm looking to try and find a place to do. I'm not gonna do that hot yoga thing again, though. That's not for me. But I'm gonna do some yoga. We're gonna find that and do a
You
program.
don't even need. I mean, at this point, man. I mean, there's free like lessons. Like one of my friends, she does pretty crazy fitness regimens
Mhm.
from like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And there's people that put it out there, so you don't feel like you have to find a studio. Really, all you need is a TV and a mat, and you're good.
Hey, you know what? You just threw an idea, Ed. Me and you could do a video
Mm.
series, Redneck Yoga.
Okay. Let's do it.
It, all right. Well, maybe we'll do something like. You know what?
I thought he was kidding, but he's not.
Well, and I'm thinking. So back when I was a young man, Showtime used to have a yoga special. Back in you had to check it out. Back in the '80s, they used to have this cool music that would thump. It was kind of a ladies yoga exercise, and so I'm thinking maybe we could have something, kind of a redneck yoga along with the Showtime mashup. So if you haven't seen Showtime, I'm not sure they called it aerobics. Aerobics. Check out Showtime aerobics of the '80s. And I think about meshing that up with me and Ed doing a redneck yoga week. We could be the leaders. And I don't know how we do all that, but it's a concept that's not being done today. So it's something that I think could get a good play. So be sure and check that out. Ed, are you not familiar with that? Did you not have Showtime as a child?
No, we had rabbit ears.
Yeah. Well, we had that too. We had an antenna literally you had to turn. Actually, my kids got to experience that because their father, I guess that'd be me, was a little thriftier than I am today. God, I wished I still had those genes. But anyway, we had it. We actually, as a child, I had a TV that you used to have to turn, get this signal, and then our house in Roy City, we literally had an outdoor antenna because I refused to get. Well, I didn't refuse, but I resisted getting satellite and cable and the expense of that. Nobody needs to watch TV. And now,
Mm.
in this day and age, I've got fracking every platform. I mean, if you want to watch anything, you guys.
Now the
You
equivalent
guys,
of antenna is watching on one of these overseas servers where you might be buffering a little bit, and that's like the that's today's
Yeah.
inconvenience equivalent to having an
Yeah,
antenna.
so, all right. So that was good call. So you got, I don't know how you got there, but you made a good call. Verbalize it
Well,
to real
it
life.
was the push-up
Yeah, push up
challenge. That's how
challenge.
we
So
got to
you're
all this.
challenging the push ups. You're putting that out there.
It's Ed's push-up challenge, and I've been throwing it out to some folks to see if they'll jump on with
Okay,
me,
so
but haven't had any
you're
takers yet.
issuing this to listeners. Is that what you're saying?
Well now, yeah. I mean, initially it was to my cleaning challenge team early this
Anybody
week.
take you up on there?
Nobody took me up on it yet. I have faith in them. I'm going to keep giving them some updates, so that maybe they'll jump on board. But yeah, up until now, nobody.
There
So
you go. Here's a rober size from when I was a youngster.
a rober size, a roba size.
So yeah, this was good TV watching. And it's pretty easy to pull up, wasn't it, Mason?
Yeah, it wasn't hard. And really, Craig, I just wanted to comment on how I could totally see how you initially got into just a healthy lifestyle and taking care of your body.
Indeed. Although there's usually a group. This seems to be just a singular person. Does it get to a group eventually? Because usually they have like a room full of people
This
working.
is
There
your
we go.
show.
Now here's yeah. They kind of span
I
back
feel
and
like
forth.
I'm watching freaking Cinemax.
So this literally was this was literally like billed as as legitimate. I mean, it literally came on every week or daily or whatever.
It reminds me of like when you go to a carnival, like all that throwing your arms out with no resistance. Like it reminds me of when you throw that real light baseball at the milk jugs or whatever, and you throw it so hard, like you get like a stinger, down your arm because it's like so light. That's what this reminds me
I
of
don't
for
know if
some
it
reason.
exactly reminds me of that, but
Yeah, this doesn't. She's not even providing any instructions.
no,
Like,
well, it's obvious what you need to be doing, Mason. What the hell instructions? I mean, look how limber she
what do you
is.
mean? It's obvious. The camera's like freaking all over the place. These angles are just insane.
It's like a bad graduation video. Like it makes you seasick.
I think she might have been a gymnast in another life.
Yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, you guys just need to do a bunch of those every day.
So Ed, so we've got we're gonna have to
It's a little manic for me.
we're gonna have to do some stretching to help lead this class. I'm just gonna say that.
I stretch a
You
lot.
stretch like this, Ed?
Not like that. I can't stretch like that, but I do stretch.
So yeah,
Oh,
so if you haven't seen Showtime, Aerobicise, check that out.
This hip flexor stretch I've been doing. I don't know where I saw it on Instagram or something. They're talking about back pain and tied, to improper stretching or not stretching or contraction of your hip flexors.
Mhm.
So I've been working on that.
So
I'll send it
missed
to
the
you.
front end of that. What are you doing?
It's a stretch where like it's hard to
Okay.
explain, but you get down on one
You gonna
knee
make
and you
like a
put your
video and
leg
send it to
behind you
us?
up against the wall. I can make
You
a
should
video.
Make a video. We
Yeah.
need a video.
Okay.
Mason
I'll do
will
that.
post that up on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
I'm over here shopping for coffee mugs. We're gonna have some Fresh CrEd coffee mugs made.
oh, we're gonna have all sorts of Fresh CrEd things that I guess I'll never see. All right. What else you doing? What you eating, buddy? What kind of good food are you stuffing in that gullet of yours?
Nothing exciting this week. I'll tell you what I didn't eat as much as I would. Well, how about what are you eating? And then we'll go to
Then we'll get to yours because yours is gonna be long.
my super
Yours is gonna be
segue.
long and winded. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's gonna be a super segue.
So I have not had mine yet. Okay, last week we talked about the amazing things that they're doing with.
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
We talked about the amazing different variations of cauliflower, right? And all the different variables. So I love fried chicken. I love fried chicken fingers, but I don't eat them. One, I avoid wheat pretty much exclusively. I try and avoid gluten pretty exclusively. I mean, I'll eat things that are gluten. I'll eat breads that are based on rice or cassava flour or something. But I basic
Sawdust.
sawdust, but it's not sawdust. It's good. Anyway, I found yesterday as I was shopping these chicken fingers that are cauliflower. The guys that make the cauliflower pizza, which are amazing pizzas crust. Um, which actually I had one of those last night, and that's you get just I digress. I know, but I don't know if we've talked about this, but dude, you take a cauliflower crust, and look at the ingredient list.
Mm-hmm.
The cauliflower crust. My only issue is they've got they don't. I don't believe there was a sugar ingredient, but they've got some kind of added sugar. I don't know what they're adding in. It's a very limited. It's like 1 gram, something like that. And caloric count on a cauliflower pizza, if you get that, is relatively low. I think if you eat the whole pizza, um, it's like 780, 800 calories for the entire freaking pizza. Now, what I do is I buy a base. And then, like yesterday, I didn't feel like chopping up bell peppers and onions and stuff. So I picked up the already chopped bell peppers and onions, got me some additional pepperoni, and I always add to with an extensive amount of vegetables. You can throw spinach on top, that kind of stuff. Amazing way to do
Mm.
pizza. Do that in the oven on a stone thing. Great way to eat. Like I say, I didn't eat the whole pizza, so I probably wound up, I'm guessing, depending on what the veggies added, but 600 to 700 calories for a full-on meal, full of veggies.
That's pizza night at our house.
But anyway, back to the chicken wings.
Love those things.
Oh, you eat cauliflower, so you're familiar with the pizza. So they've got these chicken fingers now, and there is no sugar. I did look at the ingredients, went through that whole list. Looks reasonably. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it does. It's not a bad ingredient list. I was trying to think. There was one thing on there that's that I, somewhat concerning. But at the end of the day, it's maybe a hack, a fix. And again, calorie wise, I think 2 chicken fingers is like 150. It's under 200. The whole damn bag's like 500 or something. So we'll give those a crack. They're hot and spicy. I'm pretty pumped about that, seeing how they go. They're baked, not fried. But and then you throw them in the oven and you bake them, to bring them up to heat and whatever. And I'm pretty stoked about those. We'll see how they go. But that's kind of what
Cool.
I'm eating. Cauliflower may just I'm going to turn into a cauliflower as much freaking cauliflower as I'm eating these days. So,
Well,
right. What you got, buddy? What kind of good food that you can?
I had forgotten about 2 that I had this week, and one I think I talked about last week because Callie was actually in the middle of making it for Super Bowl, but venison chili.
Oh yeah, you told us about that. You told us that she was making
it. I think it was phenomenal. I mean, just outstanding venison chili. What makes it so good? I mean, her chili's usually pretty good, but this if you like venison, and I wouldn't even say it's gamey, it just has a different taste to me. It's not gamey.
To it.
It's got a little bit of a bite, but it's in chili. It's very manageable for somebody that's not used to eating game meats. And it's lean, so you got that going for you. And it was really good. So it was a big hit.
So hang on, if
for
you
Super Bowl.
If you don't have just kind of a similar, and not everybody likes it, right? So this is why people don't, but a similar take on that is also super lean, super good for you is turkey chili.
I've never had that.
Yeah, so ground turkey. Again, it's going to have that. I would use the word wang, but it doesn't. That doesn't have a great connotation. So I think bite's probably a good way, or just a different flavor. You're gonna taste the meat, like you say, with a venison, or if you do a turkey, versus where ground beef kind of just gets
kind of funky.
Yeah, it's a little funky, so you kind of got to be prepared for that. But
yeah.
Anyway,
we'll have to try that.
Yeah, try that out. But you got to do me a favor. I mean, if she does Callie have a recipe that she could share? I mean, I've got a chili recipe, but mine's basically just a knockoff of Wick Fowler's.
No, I mean, so this is a chili with beans. I mean, she's done some chili cook-offs where it's true chili with no beans.
I can leave beans out. I mean, I don't have to put beans in it.
Yeah, I know. With that, it's that is a recipe, but we don't typically have that at home. I like chili with beans. So, but that traditional chili cook-off chili, she might kill me for saying this, but I know that one of her secrets is adding chocolate to the chili.
So that's yeah,
Dark chocolate.
that's definitely that's got to be a New Mexico influence.
Probably.
And so, but that also is so if you go to Cincinnati and you eat their chili, it has a heavy chocolate base. It's terrible. It's not chili.
Skyline.
It's not chili. I don't even know how they get the name Skyline. I mean, how they get the name chili. But yeah, Skyline chili, super famous. There's probably some Cincinnati folks listening that will at me and be not happy.
They put like a half a pound of cheese on it too, man. It's like that
terrible.
big old block of cheese, like the size of a Fiat.
Really, we should have. Somebody back during the day should have put some qualifiers around what you can call chili, like they do bourbon. There should be some law before you can call something chili. But anyway, what else you got? So the venison chili. Next time there,
cauliflower curry steak.
Oh, that's right.
Sent you a picture of that.
Picture. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah,
it was phenomenal, man. Now, my only challenge is in eating in a restaurant. I know there's it was a pretty complex dish. It was on a bed of greens and had some sort of like aioli or something on it. So it was really good, but there had to have been no more than $2 worth of ingredients on that plate. And I think it was $16, $15 or something like that.
So you ate that at a restaurant?
Yeah. Ate that at a restaurant. Antonio? But I'm going to duplicate it at home. No, here locally. We're coming up in the world, Craig.
Where did you eat?
We've got some pretty some pretty sophisticated palates here in McAllen. It was good. I'm going to try it at home. Once I replicate it, I'll let you know. So cauliflower curry cauliflower steak. Really, really good.
All right. What?
Basically a big old hunk of cauliflower, right? Cut on the bias, I guess. And then grilled. And then on a bed of greens with some olive oil and junk on it. It had some spice to it. So that was good.
Amazing. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I didn't eat a lot of this week. Take a guess.
What you didn't eat a lot of. You did not eat a lot of. Hang on. Wait for it. Let's see.
We were talking about it earlier.
Chewing tobacco.
Something in short supply.
Avocados. They're not really in short supply. That's BS, but go ahead.
Well,
see, misnomer.
The shelves got pretty empty here.
They didn't open.
Might have been a panic buy.
They've all bought into that narrative.
Yeah. So
what? Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out there. A few people listening want to listen to this. What happened on the avocado world? Why was there a shortage? Yeah, was that because everybody bought a bunch at Super Bowl and blew them out? What went down?
Well, you know what
I do know what went down, but Mason doesn't. Mason's he's been living in a hole all week in his underwear.
Yeah. So yeah, avocado shipments were stopped on. It made national news, right? So it started last Saturday, the Saturday before the Super Bowl. Avocado shipments stopped due to USDA inspectors being pulled in the state of Michoacan.
Why would they pull them? I mean, that's weird.
So cited for the reason was some threats against USDA inspectors. And so USDA pulled USDA inspectors, which in turn halted shipments of avocados out of the state of Michoacan to importing countries, which is in large part the United States. So created quite a ruckus on the eve of the Super Bowl. And as of Friday, the issue has been resolved.
Wow.
So it was 6 days.
So no more live threats out of Michoacan for the USDA guys? That's over?
It seems so.
Wow. God.
It seems so. But I love avocados. I'll cut an avocado and just, if something in a hurry, I'm in a hurry especially, cut an avocado and just spoon it out. eat it
So
right out.
that brings me something else. What you eating that we'll get to, but maybe we should
Okay,
take the family to Michoacan now. Sounds like that's all clear. You think we should go down there and have a vacation?
I'll follow you.
I have been to Michoacan. I have for a day. Um, I have drank what I'm pretty sure was moonshine there in Michoacan. It was either that or just kerosene. I really am not sure. Is in some rat.
It was probably sotol.
Is that something that you take paint off the wall with?
Huh? Sotol is kind of it's actually the state spirit of Chihuahua. Um, it's it's very similar to tequila, um,
Well,
but
let
it's
me just
very very nail polish
yeah.
removery.
So maybe that's what it was. But here's the thing: the reason I think it might have been homemade, because I do homemade wine, so I'm familiar with that, and I'm familiar with reusing bottles. Now, if this bottle was a reuse, we were either working with a reused bottle, or it had rolled around in the back of somebody's pickup truck for a few days before they decided to break it out, because the label seemed to be a little aged and scratched. So it wasn't like, and it was anyway. I, yeah, my experience in Michoacan was, it's a beautiful area. Oh my gosh, beautiful area. But I was glad to get in and out.
Sotol is a distillate made from a type of shrub, Distillerian
More
wheelery,
like gin then,
more commonly called desert spoon.
desert spoon.
That's in contrast to tequila and mezcal crafted from agave. But it's super strong.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we probably won't be vacationing there anytime soon, even though they've gotten the all clear. It's good to know avocados coming back in. I didn't see it. I did buy a couple of extra. I got to be honest, that were ready to go, but I already had a couple at the house. I'm like you. I'm an avocado fanatic. Love them. Great, great for you. Great oils, everything. I'm all about heavy fat. So you know what? If you're eating a freaking loaf of bread and avocados, it's probably not going to work out good for you. But if you're taking your fats in from avocados and getting out and doing some exercise, don't worry about how heavy the fat is. That ain't gonna be a problem. It's the carbs will kill you. But speaking of that, I had not ever tried it. Me and you might have discussed this before on the process of preserving avocados with pressure. Doesn't matter. Um, I don't think they're called Avomex anymore. What's the name of the avocado company now? Holy Guacamole. I think it's Holy Guacamole that I purchased yesterday. So I'd not ever purchased this before, but um, I needed some. I wanted some avocado. Again, kind of going back to my whole pizza thing. I didn't want to cut up peppers. I didn't want to do anything. And they've got this tray of chunked avocado, and I know HEB does the halves and stuff like this. This particular place only had. I think this was. I think I was at Walmart last night, and they have the tray of chunked um, avocados. And
Mm-hmm.
so I picked that up. So it's just nothing but avocado. Brought that home and made my own fresh avocado, right? It's pretty good. You know what? It lacks. And I don't know if it's because they're out of Jalisco or maybe they're Peruvian. I don't even know where, you don't know for sure what country because there are the big difference in the reason avocados out of Mexico, particularly Michoacan area, is they have super stringent oil requirements. You can't ship to the States. That's what the USDA inspectors, part of what they do is confirm that they have the appropriate oil content. And the difference between avocados being really good and not is that oil content. And so that was the thing I noticed in this particular avocado is the texture was it lacked that oil. And again, I don't know if it's the process that they go through. I don't know if it's the area that they're coming from, because there's absolutely, if you take a Peruvian avocado and a Mexican avocado, there's absolutely a difference. Absolutely a difference, no question at all. And so anyway, I don't know where but I did try that last night. It's a good alternative if you don't want to mess with hacking up the avocado or you can't find a ripe one. It's a good alternative, but it still doesn't beat the real deal out of Mexico. I'm just going to
No,
say right now,
no.
out of Michoacan.
No, avocados are great. I'd love to have a tree, but I don't have a green thumb, and I feel like they're here. I mean, we don't have freezes that often, but it's enough to where
Yeah,
you'd have to cover it and take care of it, and it'd be tough.
it would be definitely tough. All right, guys. Well, don't go anywhere. Well, you can go somewhere, but don't go too.
Just come back.
Yeah, just come back. Don't go too far. So this is part one of a beautiful part two, or of a 2-part episode that we put together here, because Ed and I had so much great content. We were off the rails today, and just
If you don't mind saying so yourself, right?
I don't mind. Hey man, when I feel it's good, I feel it's good. I mean, and and I can see in your face that your freaking face has got the energy and love of just like,
You're
my
confident,
God.
man. That's great.
I really do. I feel good. So guys, if you've enjoyed this first one, you know what? If you didn't enjoy the part one, stick around. Part two is better than part one, but altogether, it is a masterpiece of an episode that we put together. Finally, right? This is going
enthralling.
This is going to be the one that we're going to look back to and say that was the turning point. So,
or if you're just on a long drive and you need something to listen to, we're here.
All right, Ed. Well, look, just so we've got all the stuff out there, take them out of here with how to get in touch with us between now and part two.
Thoughts, dreams, questions, concerns, send them to thefreshcred@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, I'm sorry, Twitter at CredFresh, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at The Fresh Cred.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Thank you all very much. Please enjoy your week, and then come back next week and let's finish this out. Take care, guys. Laura, Eddie, see y'all.